Hey guys, as always, it's the Digital Pumpkin Cat, and today we will be unboxing, setting up, demoing, and reviewing Spirit Halloween's Bog Zombie animatronic. Now, as you guys might know, I did not just purchase this guy. I actually had it since 2022. It was my first purchase of 2022. I do have a few demos from a long time ago on my channel. I just never got to unboxing him. And, you know, it's summer break. I'm kind of bored. I mean, spring break, sorry. There's nothing really to do. And this guy was sitting in my closet. So I thought about why not just do an unboxing. So let's go ahead and open the box. Oh, one more piece of tape. So yeah, this was one of my first purchases for 2024. Sorry, 2022. Definitely smells like Spirit Halloween in here. Love that smell. Alright, first, everything's kind of stuck here. We've got a bone right here, as you can see. First of all, this guy is an amazingly detailed prop. Everything on him is just so ultra detailed, and it's just crazy. Yeah, the bone, just crazy detailed. The moss is always great. And yeah, I just love the concept of the bone going through his pants. And yeah, it looks really, really realistic. Alright, now you guys are a little closer. So you can see better. Here we've got an arm. Yeah, arm. As you can see, it's not really the same prongs as usual SVI props, but those still work. It might be even more secure than the normal prongs. Instructions, but we won't be needing them. Here we got his clothing. His clothing is very, very detailed. I believe, yeah, these are the pants. As you can see, his clothing is a little sun faded, I guess. Yeah. This was the normal color of it, you know, green. But then it turned to this, of course, in the sun. So it's kind of sun damaged, but for the past 2 years now, it's been indoors. So it will, I think, be indoors this year, but I may put it outside. We'll have to see. So next we actually got the head. Definitely my favorite part of the animatronic. The head was kind of a hit or miss, honestly. And they just did the head so well. Here, let me just, there, the seaweed is on. The head looks so good. I was lucky. The Bog Zombies kind of do deform, as of all SVI props, but I was so lucky to get a non-deformed Bog Zombie. It's just like a perfect head. Yeah, the shell, it's all in there. It looks really good. The eyes are very detailed too. Yeah, just one of the most detailed heads in retail, I have to say. And the seaweed looks very realistic. It is dry rotting a little. It's got some rips and tears. My only complaint with the head is the latex is pretty thin, definitely, as you can probably see there. And again, it is tearing. That's not an issue with my Bog Zombie only. A lot of them have actually been tearing. But yeah, it's a really nice head. Here we've got an arm. These are actually grave-grabbing corpses' hands. So yeah, same sculpt, same design. Added moss though, and it just looks really great. Take a look at that. Yeah, grave-grabbing corpses' hands. They actually really do work on Bog Zombie, so recycling prop parts there. It could be good and I think they did great. There's another arm. It's kind of different. I like how on every Bog Zombie is unique. Like the moss is in different places throughout the heads, arms, bones, and feet. And even the clothing. Speaking of the feet, we have a foot. Yeah, very detailed foot too. Paint job's great. We have another foot. And we have foam. Another arm right there. A lot of holes right here. And we actually have the neck right here with, of course, all the wires and springs, as you can see. Very, very good welds on this prop. The welds on this prop are crazy. Welds, they're like never gonna break. As you can see, the welds are just, they're great. Very, very good quality prop. One of the best. We have the module and the shoulder frame. Shoulder frame is pretty big. But yeah, there's a module. Yeah, nice piece right there. Adapter. It's good it comes with that. Put that down there. One more pole. Yeah, the shirt, as you can see, it's kind of sun faded there, sun damaged. Yeah, this is what, here, let me try. This is what it was supposed to look like. It did look like, and now this is what it looks like now. Only parts of it, though. I do think that actually helps with his overall clothing look, because, I mean, it does look like more tattered. And then here's the base. Typical SVI base. Not big, not small either. Down right there. So, that's all the parts out of the box. As you can probably tell, this is going to be a typical SVI setup, but nonetheless really fun. So, let's go ahead and start setting him up. So, if you haven't guessed, we start with the base. And then we have his very detailed feet that go in just like that. They do not have the little holes under for the prongs to go, because there are obviously no prongs. So they do blow a lot in the wind, but I mean, I kind of like Bog Zombie's feet to be like that, so it looks kind of like an actual zombie, but yeah, very nice feet. So yeah, then we've got these two leg poles that just snap lock in like that. And there we go. We're done with the legs. Done with the structure of the legs, I should say. And then we have our foam that just slides in like that. And that's our last foam. I did not lose a foam. You probably saw me just take one foam out of the box. We actually don't have a foam for this leg because this leg will have the bone. And again, I've said my thoughts on the bone. It looks great. Very, very detailed, awesome piece. And yeah, it just slides in just like that. So, we can actually start getting the pants on. Of course, if you don't know which way they go, seaweed / vines face out this way. And of course, you've got that tear. So that goes in with the bone side, and the other, of course, that doesn't have a tear, goes with the foam. And then that all goes in just like that. There are actually a bunch of bugs in here for having it outside like a week, because I actually took this thing outside the last time it was used to film my animatronic collection, which I can't upload to my channel just yet because I have storage issues, of course, phone storage issues, and the video's like 40 minutes. But I will hopefully get that to the channel sooner or later. So yeah, there we go. Those just slide right in. And next, we have the waist / mechanism that, of course, makes him do that twitching motion almost. Alright, I moved the camera up so you guys can see better. And this just slides right in like that. This is kind of a tight fit, as you can see. The pole's all the way over there, and this is right here, but hopefully we can get it in. As you can see, it's kind of at an angle. I don't know if it's just my Bog Zombie, but you really have to put some force into this. But yeah, it's probably the same thing with all of them. And there we go. Very, very, very tight fit. Again, it might just be mine, but I don't know, because I don't own 2 Bog Zombies. It's a very, 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 very tight fit. Yeah, it's all snap locked in now. And I don't know, it's kind of like this with other wastes of SVI, but this one is like, I don't know, really, really, really hard. Yeah, that takes a lot of energy. But we've got it on now, and it's looking great. So next, we have this piece. Of course, the module. That just goes in like that. And as you can see, he is a pretty big prop. I think I measured him once, and he's like an inch or 2 over 6 feet. And then next, we have the clothing. And the clothing, the shirt, I should say, just slides on like that. There we go. And next, we have the arms. Of course, we all know how these SVI arms work. And one arm slides in just like that. If you're noticing, I'm in different clothing just now. I'm doing this in, different time periods than, of course, you guys are in right now. But, yeah, so that's one arm. And this is the other, just goes in just like that. And the 2 arms are very, very secure. And yeah, I actually do like this type of prong. And I think it works. Very long, too, unlike most prongs. And not going to fall out. Even though this guy's movement is pretty damn fast, these I haven't had falling out, just like a lot of my prongs that don't use clips or whatever. And then, of course, you slide the clothing up and move on to the hands. Grave-grabbing corpse's hands. And, of course, it does matter. Thumbs are always inward, if you need help with that. But they are numbered, too. And I don't even need to take off the stickers. I might need them. The clothing covers it, though. I will adjust the clothing later for the demo. But for now, that's one arm, and that should look good. So now, time for the other. And then this is the other hand. I should be saying hand. Although I do like how the sculpt does go down pretty far. And again, if I haven't mentioned it enough, very, very detailed sculpts on this prop. And that's the other hand. And of course, just slide the sleeve and Velcro. Also need to pull the pants up. What I do want you guys to know right now is that I have lost one piece with this prop, and that is actually the hip loop. I do have an extra hip loop nonetheless in my cabinet with all my other animatronics. I don't know where I got that, but I seem to have all my hip loops for my props except this one. I know it's not this guy's original hip loop because it's much, much bigger for him, but it does work for him, and I should be using it, but I don't have it currently for this video. So yeah, he is missing his hip loop, but I mean, it does help. It just doesn't make much of a difference, but the hip loop definitely does help. Alright guys, now it is time for the most exciting part of a prop, in my opinion, and that is, you guessed it, to put on the head. So yeah, I would adjust his seaweed on top of his head. If I haven't praised the head enough, I will now. Again, very, very, very detailed sculpt right there. I'll bring it up real close here so you can see all the detail. It's just really great, even on the back of his head where the seaweed is covering it. And the moss, the bone exposed, the gums, the eyes. Very, very detailed sculpt and just detailed prop overall. So, unlike a lot of other props, actually, here, let me bring this up. So first of all, it does have two wires. This is a plastic shell under a latex mask. It does have three prongs, and if you do notice over here, we have one little prong to put the head in. So you could actually adjust the head a little, like, I mean, if you want his head to be maybe turned this way a little, or maybe this way, or if you just want it in the middle, it can go like here, it can go here, or it could go, again, in the middle. I usually do use the middle prong, because the middle prong does give it more room to, you know, do its thing and turn without using a motor. But, I mean, the side prongs do that too, just not as much. So, I am using the side prongs, but I mean, again, if you want him to face a certain way, that's where those three prongs come in. And we are basically done with Bog Zombie setup. Not a hard setup at all. Again, this is as basic SVI setup as you could get. On my first time setting this guy up, I did have a little trouble with that bone, but I mean, it's getting easier. The pants still do get tangled and stuck sometimes, but it's getting easier every time I assemble him. And he's, right now the motor's like to the side, but when he's like standing all the way up, he's pretty huge. I'd say a little over 6 feet if I were to measure him. I might take the time to do that one day, maybe even now. But, yeah. The only things I need to do, off camera that is wire him up. And, of course, plug in his adapter. So, I will be doing those off camera. I don't think you guys need to see the module. I mean, it's just on, off, demo, which is, you know, sensor, which we'll be doing now. And yeah, he is a constant motion prop, which I do use him on Halloween night. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the demo and then the review. So here's Bog Zombie's demo. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Spirit Halloween 2022 Bog Zombie. And this is, of course, my review now. So, let's start up with the face. If I haven't said it enough times, he's just such a detailed prop. One of my most detailed props. I even do think he beats the Distortions Unlimited Alien prop that I do own in terms of detail. Just so detailed. Take a look at all that. It's just such a detailed prop. So glad we saw something this detailed in the retail industry. It's gotta be our most detailed and most looking like, you know, just put into effort in terms of looks in the retail industry. Just, yeah, it's incredible how realistic this thing looks. It's crazy. So yeah, love the detail, love the looks. The clothing too. If people want more detailed clothing, Bog Zombie was going in the right direction. I know it's creepy cloth and, you know, gauze and stuff. I know it's nothing much, but I mean, it does the job right. It is a substitute for seaweed, and it really works. Like, I mean, look at this stuff. It looks gross. It looks slimy. Paint job on this guy is great too. Again, so realistic in terms of paint too. Like, look at that. Seaweed looks really realistic, and his hands, again, grave-grabbing corpse's hands, and they do look amazing on this prop. Yeah, I love his hands too. His feet, I will admit, aren't as detailed as those two. I mean, it doesn't need to be since it's the feet. I would like a little more detail, but for the most part, it's a great paint job, and they are pretty damn detailed there, too. So, yeah, I really like his feet. Pants are very detailed, too. That bone sticking out was a great, just idea, and I'm glad they went through with it, and, I mean, it really adds to that realism factor that the Bog Zombie carries. In terms of structure and looks. His structure, like I said in the beginning of the video, I love how the chest frame is just so huge. It almost acts as muscles, and it just looks really realistic how this thing is put together. As you can see here, it looks great, and yeah, it's great. So yeah, animation, this thing looks professional when it comes to looks, animation, structure, and just overall everything. It looks like one of those Twitchers from Beastcraft. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was on Beastcraft's website, along with, you know, all their other Twitchers, you know the ones. But, yeah, this thing is amazing. His animation, the twitching goes, honestly, really fast. But not too fast. Not like, you know, Twitching Clowns and Miserable Murray. Actually, Miserable Murray was really slow. But not like Twitching Clowns, not like Twitching Banshees, not like Twitching Ghouls. But his animation is fast, but at the same time pretty slow. And it gives it a creepy factor. I also love how he moves without motors. I mean, there is a motor in there to move, you know, the twitching, but this thing moves like that whenever he twitches. I know you guys didn't really get to see that in the demo video, but, I mean, yeah, it's the clothes, I might have done something wrong, but I tried to set this guy up quick. He's not really in his full glory. I didn't really adjust the clothing and stuff. This is usually just, you know, this is Bog Zombie right here, but I didn't, like, glorify him, you know. So, I mean, that arm, it has swung out like this. I know it didn't show it in the demo. I think it just needs the clothing to be a little adjusted, or I need to fiddle around with the prongs. That's what I did on Halloween night. And yeah, it was crazy. Every time it was in the haunted house, got some great reactions from him. I don't think he counts as a jump scare, but I mean, whenever he does this, it scares the hell out of people. And that I love how that head, like, moves side to side, like he's turning around, like that, as you can see, of course, with those 3 prongs that I showed you, making him more realistic without using any motors. This whole thing takes 2 motors to move the mouth, actually. Yeah, it has a motor in the mouth, as you could see there. Just adding to the realism and animation. And yeah, he has 4 movements with 2 motors. This head going, the arm going like this. Sometimes this arm moves. It kind of sways like that, but it doesn't grab you like this arm is supposed to. But, yeah, really great in the animation department, and it's really great for the price and the overall prop that we've got movement without using motors, like we've seen on other props, like Lucky Bottoms and stuff. And I really do love that, so keep trying to figure out ways to do that, Spirit and other companies out there, even professional prop companies, because I really love that, more realistic movement, because, I mean, it's, you know, it's gravity. And yeah, that was basically my review. I don't know what else to talk about this guy, but I do have one complaint with this whole prop. I mean, the light up eyes are kind of a complaint, but I mean, you can turn that off. I do turn that off on Halloween night. But this part, I don't know if it's just me. It probably is. But putting the, this E part, as I showed in the setup portion of this video, it was very hard to put on. Yeah, that was extremely hard to put on for some reason, and I don't know. It was really hard to put on, but I mean, it might just be me, but I don't know. I just had a really hard time putting it on for some reason, and overall, I still think this is a really great prop, and one complaint for this whole thing is nothing. And yeah, it's very realistic, very intimidating, very creepy, very scary, very menacing at the same time, and it's just great overall. Also glad he's not talking like other props. He just, of course, growls, which is what we want. So thanks for watching, and as always, it's the Digital Pumpkin Cat. Like and subscribe. That was Bog Zombie, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.